Yeah.
Antonio, would you marry her right now?
Yeah, I would.
Roxanne, would you marry him right now?
Give me like, no, absolutely not. No.
Hey guys, welcome to the Ultimatum. We're talking the finale and the reunion. And let me tell you, this finale, pretty good. Pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, not even
A
close.
lot of drama, a lot of
This
surprises.
This is
in
probably like the
store.
most boring damn finale that this show's ever come up with, which is why it was only 36 minutes. Like,
I'm surprised they made it
I was
36
like,
minutes.
why the hell is this thing 36 minutes? And I watched it and I was like, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, these ladies were looking pretty fine. But
Oh,
some
no,
of
they
these
were.
men need to work on their drip. You know what I'm saying?
No.
From the sounding rod.
So let's get into the finale real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick.
All 2 seconds of it.
Yeah.
Everybody said yes. All right.
Yeah, so they get with Trey and Raya.
I mean, we were wrong.
Yeah. We were wrong about that one. Thought
Yeah.
Ryan was going to say no, and she said yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to spend every day of his life with her.
Yeah, evidently so.
And she doesn't want to do anything
Without him.
without him. So.
It's all about Trey.
Well, she can't get in the city without this guy. She needs his money, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, got to have his money to have an apartment in the
seriously,
city.
how is she going to go to the city on her salary?
Yeah, she ain't.
Not alone, probably.
That's right.
Well. So you think she's
She
just
could have found.
using
She could have found like a
him?
temporary,
I don't know.
temporary sugar daddy in the city or something.
Maybe.
You know.
But what if
Maybe
she just
it's
never gets to the
maybe
city?
that sugar daddy's name is Trey. I don't know.
Yeah,
What if she
evidently.
never gets to the city?
Trey, he don't seem overly excited to get
No.
to the
Yeah.
city.
Yeah, Trey,
that's something that-
Trey would be perfectly happy if she never got to the city.
That's going to be a element of resentment later on in the relationship if they ever make it to the city.
So Trey pops the question, wetness be darned.
That's right.
These guys are getting
Like,
married.
what?
You can't get me wet, but I'm going to marry you anyway.
I think that when they were talking about that, I don't think it's isolated to him. I think that was an issue for her.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, because you think you could take care of it, but whatever.
She never said it was just an issue to her. She was just like, hey, he's like, can't get the job done. So
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So Ryan and James, she wants to be more of a priority in this guy's
yeah,
life.
we saw that coming.
Yeah, we saw
That
it.
was a definite yes across the board. Like everybody knew that shit was gonna like.
She's putting herself first,
I like it. I hope she stands by it.
whatever that means.
I hope she
Right,
sticks
right,
with it. It's really easy to say and stand up for in the moment, but then you go back to your lives and you just like you get back into the routine. I really hope she stays with that.
Well, she even mentioned that too. Like, I'm just, don't want to get back in that routine.
Mhm.
And he's like, yeah.
She
No,
believes
don't
the
worry,
experience has opened him up.
Yeah.
You think that?
Yeah.
He cried a little bit, so.
He squirted something. So
Whoa.
tears, actually.
He opened up. He cried. He told her his big dark secret.
Yeah.
And so
And it wasn't murder. So
Well, what's kind of odd is
That's okay.
what's kind of odd. He says he's not in that great of a place, but he gets married anyway. So
We're not in a great of a place to move forward in our life together.
yeah.
But let's get married.
But let's do it anyway. The heck with it.
I mean, it's like what they say about having a baby. There's really no good time. You
Yeah.
plan and plan and plan.
Yeah,
There's never a good time.
Lisa and what's his name showed us that, I guess, right? So,
Yeah, there you go.
Kat and Alex.
Yeah. This one surprised me.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, they made it seem like everything's hunky dory there at the little thing together. Like, I can't see my life without anybody but her.
Yeah.
It just really solidified my me knowing that she's the one for me. And I was like, really? Because I didn't see that at all in the whole
Well,
show.
I would like
Kat
to
is one of
know.
the few people willing to put up with him. So
Yeah,
there you
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
I mean, Kat's
I mean-
awesome. I like Kat.
Which is smart of him to lock her down.
Yeah.
To be honest
Yeah.
with you. But I didn't see him feeling that way about her. So I don't know if that's just an editing thing or
Yeah, they must
I
have
actually think they're a decent couple.
Yeah, I think they are too at the end of the day. But I think, editing must have left a lot out because, it didn't seem like they had a lot going for him.
from what we were shown of how he is in a relationship and how she is, she's gonna be let down a lot
Jeez.
emotionally.
Yeah, maybe.
But
Well,
Maybe
I mean,
there's more
that's-
to it that
I
we're
think
not
that might
seeing.
be kind of who he
Yeah,
is.
maybe she's
you
cool
know?
with that. Yeah,
I don't
she's
think
cool with
he
that. Yeah.
has any negative intentions or anything.
no,
It's just,
I agreed. But
It's just his personality.
it's something that she's accepting now, and over time,
well, I'm sure
sucks.
Alex wants more out of her in some regards too. But
Yeah.
doesn't everybody?
Yep. So let's get to Roxanne and Antonio.
I can't even with this one, guys. I can't.
Yeah, I was shocked that she said yes. To be
Well,
honest, man.
Roxanne-
Did she say yes though?
Roxanne does
Yeah.
not believe in soulmates, but she
That's right.
believes in whipping boys. So
That's right.
there you go.
She
boy.
said yes so she wouldn't lose him and she could keep him around. She
Yeah,
has
that-
no intention.
That was exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she said yes as if there was a gun to her head. Like, that was
pretty
not.
She said she's going to go with how she feels in the moment. I mean, she don't need to think it through. Why do that?
Right.
She's just going to go on her
she
gut
said she
feeling.
didn't even know
She's
when
like,
she was
he's-
walking to that. She didn't know what she was going
Yeah.
to say. It's like, come on, you went through this whole process and you don't know?
But
You're
they
right.
both
She-
have
she-
prepared notes.
She's just not ready to lose him yet. You're exactly right on that.
They both have prepared notes, and she acts surprised that he has a note,
Yeah.
even though
You
she
heard like
she
the
had
pa-
one too.
You heard like paper crumbling and shit. I'm like, what the hell is this paper? And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I got a note.
Well, she had the origami, remember?
Yeah, she did.
Well, because, again, this is another moment for her to criticize him and his lack of preparedness and the way he is and doesn't handle business correctly. She's shocked that he came prepared with notes. Like, that's shocked because that's not like you.
Well,
Normally-
Roxanne gave up on him, but he never gave up on himself.
That's
So-
right. So please,
That's
so
true.
he says, so please don't give up on me. That's what he tells her.
That is true. I mean, I've never seen someone fight so hard.
Yeah,
for
I was
nothing,
surprised. I
really.
was surprised she said yes. And at this point, she's just got that guy wrapped. Man, that dude will do anything that freaking she wants. Man, it's sad, quite honestly. Like,
Yeah.
just watching him is just sad. Like, dude, you are a sad little man, Antonio. Like, you deserve better. And it's unfortunately you don't realize that because you just look like a complete whipping boy, bitch boy on this show. So
Well, every couple stayed together and got engaged.
Yep.
So they must
Yeah.
be giving out like free rings or
That's-
vacations
That's right,
or
yeah.
something
Yeah.
on
All the above,
show.
yeah, yeah.
So one would think the show
Yeah.
is just a giant success then, right?
yeah, you would think
Yeah.
so. Then we get to the after party, man.
So
Yeah.
everyone should just, in order, before you get married, you should give yourselves an ultimatum.
Yeah.
Do trial marriages with other people.
That's right. Your hall
You
pass.
figure it
I
out.
actually do think this helped most of them.
I think it helped a
Some
lot
of
of
them,
them
yeah.
on personal growth.
Yeah,
And I
no
do
doubt.
think it helped. I think it helped Trey and Raya's relationship, and I think it helped Alex and I think it helped everybody except for Lisa, Brian, and
Antonio and Roxanne.
Antonio and Roxanne.
Yeah. If anything, it
That's
just
easy to
fucked Antonio even worse. You know, as we see here.
Well, that was going to happen one way or another.
Yeah.
All right, so they get to the reunion and Lisa and Brian come out.
Yeah, they come out there, so they got their baby boy Mason.
Yep.
Everything's working out well. And they're not.
It's
They still
10
aren't-
months later, I think.
Yeah,
or-
they
Baby
still aren't
boy's
ready.
7 weeks old.
Yeah, they still aren't ready to get married yet, but they're getting there.
Yeah.
They're working on it. They're getting there.
so they
Yeah.
show the
But they did look
clips of
happy. I
Lisa,
mean, they looked happy and like they were having a good time. You know. So.
and she gets questioned a little bit.
Just a little bit though.
Oh, and then she was an asshole. You know, I was like, oh
Yeah, I was very surprised that she still has an axe to grind against Raya.
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
I don't have anything to apologize for. Like, that's how I saw you at the time. You know, I saw you trying to steal a man. It's like, dude, you're on this freaking show to have a trial marriage to somebody else. What
Yeah.
the hell do you think is supposed to happen?
And you brought him here.
And you brought him here, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in the conversation at the bar, when the whole group first got together, Lisa was the one that asked everybody the question, all right, who's everybody's
Yeah,
number one
yeah.
right now? She's the one who brought that up and put the group on the spot.
Mhm.
And she specifically targeted out Brian. And Brian was smart enough not to answer that question.
And we learned she was also a Hooters girl,
Yeah, we found that out too.
which is
And
odd.
it's like, what the hell are you doing talking shit on a fellow Hooters girl?
Yeah.
You know?
And then she tries to say it's not her job, it's how she is.
Which
And
she
it's
didn't
like,
her
behave
attitude.
badly at
you're
all.
the one
No, she
acting
didn't.
like trash.
Yeah, she was
What are
acting
you
horrible.
talking
Raya
about?
did not act bad at all. It's not, and Raya was, not even sitting close to him when they were talking. So it was like,
Her leg
get
was
the hell out of here.
crossed the opposite. Her body
Yeah.
language, her leg was crossed the opposite way. Brian was sitting there with his arms crossed like this.
Yeah.
There was
Lisa
no-
was just absolutely ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
But then, of course, Brian's got to kind of try to stick up for a little bit. Well, look, what Lisa's trying to say is that's how she felt in the moment. And buzzy. Like, dude, let her fucking speak for herself, man. Don't try and say
Yeah,
what
I didn't
she's
like
trying to
how.
say.
I mean, I like people stand up, but like this one, it's like, come
Yeah.
on, man.
And then all of a sudden, after he apologizes for her, then she's like, "Yeah, I was acting a little crazy,
Hormonal.
hormonal." Because
No, Roxanne
Roxanne,
brought up the
Roxanne's like, "Yeah,
hormones."
maybe it's because you're pregnant." She's like, "Yeah, I think it was because I was pregnant. I was hormonal, and that's why I was acting crazy." It's like, wait a minute, a minute ago you said you weren't acting crazy, and then
But you
you don't
stand
regret
by what
shit.
you
And
said.
you have no regrets
and
or
then all
whatever.
of a sudden you're
so,
apologizing, and it's
yeah.
like, "Oh, I was hormonal." It's like, what's
And
your
Ryan
story
was
here?
being very respectful in
No,
the
she was.
conversation. She's
Absolutely.
like, I just, I felt hurt and disrespected in that moment. I don't care.
there is a 7 years age gap, and it's just like it just seems like you were trying to put down another woman because you were upset, and I did not appreciate that at all.
I don't care.
So
She was giving
I
her the
care.
evil eye after that, but
Yeah.
rightfully so.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Yeah, I felt bad for Ryan in that moment, and I was really irritated that the hosts Nick and Vanessa didn't like dig deeper into that, especially when she started changing her tone as to, oh well, it was hormones, or oh that's how I felt
Right.
in the moment, and everybody.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you just said
You
that's
just
not
said,
the case.
Exactly. You just said you don't feel bad one bit, and you don't think you did anything wrong, and now all of a sudden it's I was hormonal, and she even said I was acting like a psycho. It's like what?
And
Which
in
is it?
that conversation at the bar where she asked everybody who the number one is, she was the first person to point out who her number one was. Nobody was willing to answer the question, and she's like, "Fine, I'll do it." And
Now I
she-
did like how
so-
Antonio spoke up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I did too.
Because he's like, hey, we all had our favorite people. Like, what's the deal?
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, I don't think Raya was throwing any shade on you. So,
No,
so I like that Antonio said something.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and they let
Somebody needed to.
they let
Everybody else
Lisa
being
just get
freaking-
away with
Yeah.
that. I don't know why.
Yeah, she got a pass. And I mean,
Oh, hell
she
yeah, she
assaulted the man.
They
Right.
never even brought
Never
that
brought
up.
that up. Yeah.
No. And I actually think when they were talking about the hormones and her behavior and how she regrets acting, I think they were talking about that assault
Right.
situation.
But they just didn't
And
want to
I
mention
think
it.
maybe that had been brought up and then they edited it out. And they
Maybe.
kind of blended it together.
And I got to
with
tell you, like,
Ryan.
for someone who did that, who is apologetic, and then she comes on this show acting hard like that against Raya, no.
Shame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly, man. Horrible person. That's a horrible human being right there, man. How
And they
you
may
gonna, how
not-
you gonna do that?
They may not be married. They are
And that's why.
together,
That's
but they
why.
are good parents.
She should have said, first
She's a good
off,
parent.
I would
Great
like to
parents.
apologize
Great
to
parents.
Raya. And then she's
Yeah.
like, and
That's
then
what
I'd
she
like to
should've said.
apologize to Brian.
Yeah, that's how the
But
conversation
nothing
should have went.
didn't
Yeah.
happen.
Oh yeah.
No.
That was horrible, dude.
Yeah, trash.
Yep.
Whoa.
I agree. I was complete trash, man. What she did.
Yeah.
That was garbage.
And then Roxanne kind of speaks up about thinking the baby thing was kind of like a hoax or
Yeah.
fake or
Well,
something.
Well,
That was a little
they cut
awkward.
and showed Roxanne saying, "Yeah, that's bullshit." So then, of course,
Yeah.
immediately Roxanne's like, "Oh shit, I gotta freaking save myself here." So jumped in there. We're like, "Look, we were all kind of thinking it. Like, it just seemed very awkward that all of a sudden you're pregnant when you were obviously having problems with this whole process."
Yeah, I mean, it's a legitimate, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah, not- yeah.
question to ask in that moment because she was.
I
at
mean,
that point
everyone
trying to
was
do-
thinking it.
Exactly, which is why I remember I told you guys right off the
Yeah.
bat. It's like I had to look that shit up. And like, was she really pregnant? So
I mean, she was so desperate to get Brian out of that situation
Mhm.
that she put him in
Oh, yeah.
that it's not unfeasible. I'm glad that's not
Yeah.
what she did. And they're not those type of people. They don't play like that.
yeah, we don't play like that. That's what they said.
So
We thought we would have fun and play the
Newlywed Game.
Super fun.
You guys ready to play?
Yeah.
Ready to have some fun? Let's light it up.
What'd you
Yeah,
think of the
figure something
newlywed game?
Yeah.
yeah.
They
They didn't even
It
ask
was
like
surface level crap. dude.
interesting
No.
questions.
I mean,
it
they
was
asked
just surface
Hall
level crap.
Pass.
Yeah, the hall pass was probably the most interesting
And
question.
why everyone's answer wasn't Ryan Reynolds, men and women, I don't know. Because that, I think, is the universal answer for that.
I don't like Ryan Reynolds like that. Ryan Gosling higher on my book than
You
Ryan
know,
Reynolds.
you liked him as Ken, man. You loved him.
He was a blonde, you know.
You weren't a big fan of that movie. though.
Nah, I'm not a fan of Barbie, but I'm a fan of Ryan Gosling.
There you go.
All right, that's your hall pass.
It might be. So-
Well, and of course, Lisa said her hall pass was some chick, right?
Yeah.
Some rapper chick. I think,
and then what?
so.
Two people said? Did they say Killian Murphy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
two people said
So
Killian Murphy.
that's kind of surprising to me.
No,
Yeah,
that's not surprising to
Roxanne,
me.
and Kat. I think Roxanne and Kat. I think both. said
I
Killian
see it.
Murphy.
I totally see it.
I mean, okay, but when you got Ryan Gosling out there,
Yeah,
I don't
here's
know.
the deal with Killian Murphy. He has the fuck off attitude. Like the face says, "Don't
He's
mess
Thomas
with
Shelby,
me."
man.
He's hot, but he's also got that persona that bad boy kind of don't mess with me, and so
Yeah,
we
if you
want
ain't
to
watch-
mess.
if you
We
ain't
want
wa-
to mess
If
with
you
you.
ain't watch Peaky Blinders, you need to check that out. That shit's
All right,
awesome.
so who's your hall pass, Billy? Quickly.
I'll take. I don't know, man.
Ugh.
Maybe-
Quickly, he
I
said.
know.
Scarlett Johansson.
Jesus.
I'll take
Oh,
her.
Yeah, he mentioned her
Scarjo.
I'll take
before.
Scarlett Johansson.
You used to like ScarJo.
I did,
He-
but now I'm starting to swing more towards Florence Pugh. So,
Oh, that's a good
Oh,
one.
yeah.
That's a good one. I do like Florence Pugh.
so
Yeah.
there you go.
That is a good one.
And then they start delving into Roxanne and Antonio.
It hurts. It's almost like your lack of pride in me, and you don't want to show anybody that you're engaged. I'm
And this is an interesting one.
Yeah, this is where
Mhm.
you really see how much of a bitch boy Antonio is. Like, oh,
Well, and how
cow.
evil
Roxanne
Roxanne
is.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you see, like every response that she gives is basically just like they're
Like-
day one.
Here's where he fucked up.
Well, no, that's her response
No.
right there.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
everything.
No,
Here's
watch,
where
watch.
he fucked up.
When they first went on this show, what did he tell her? if we don't get married, then we're done.
The ultimatum.
Yeah.
So she says yes, and then immediately we find out the next day she stops wearing the engagement ring. He's like, "Nah, we're not getting married."
Didn't I
anytime
tell you
soon."
she was going to drag this
Yeah,
off?
exactly. As soon as and the fact that he didn't cut her off right then gave her all the power. It's like, good. He just he's full of shit.
Well,
he's not going to leave me, so good. I can do whatever the hell I want.
It's also
So-
nice that she keeps saying, "We're working on it. We're working on that." He's got his business going. He's doing
working
that.
on it.
Like, what are you working
Well,
on?
and then she kind of cuts
He's
him
making
down.
strides.
Yeah, well then when he's mentioning his business, like what he's trying to do, he's like, yeah, Roxanne was is big into car stuff too, so it's cool. She's like, well, like 10 years ago, I was big into cars. So she's like kind of downplaying what
he downplays.
his
She
stuff and
downplays anything he
yeah.
does.
So
I
like
mean,
she,
this guy
she's
could become
totally
a millionaire and
she's
he's
totally
not gonna do
belittling
that.
the hell out of this kid, and it's just like, dude, what are you doing with this woman, man?
And she's got rings on every finger except
that
her.
one. Yeah.
She brought the ring.
wedding ring.
She
And
brought him in a
he
box.
even,
Yeah.
and he even bought like an extra set of rings to go
And
around it.
what they should have done, so she had the rings in the box. If she'd have lifted the rings up, you just seen his balls underneath them.
Oh,
So,
dang.
but
And I like Antonio.
Yeah.
I do too.
Man, I don't know what it is about
man.
him and
But
her.
you can tell he doesn't recognize what's happening, but he knows it's happening because
Oh, he knows.
when she answers, they ask, "Are you ready to get married?" And she's like,
No,
and he's
no,
over there
no.
going, "Nope."
It's a
she's
long
not.
road, Billy.
She's not.
Right.
She's
And,
not.
dude, Antonio needs to cut his freaking losses with that chick and go find someone else.
And then,
Period.
does it bother you that she doesn't wear the ring? Yeah, it bothers me. Like,
But I'm still with her
but
anyway.
I'm just letting her do whatever she wants to do. And then,
That
Alex
chick
calls him out on it.
has 110% of the power in that relationship, and Antonio's got nothing.
I did like how Alex apologizes to Antonio, and they seem like they're trying
Yeah,
to
trying to-
make that better, but they still have no love for Roxanne because Roxanne is kind of a pot
Antonio
stirrer.
apologized to Alex for calling him a shithead too, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that's.
Or what do you call it?
It was
Shit-
a
or shitbird,
gentleman's
whatever it's called.
conversation.
Shithead, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
It was a gentleman's conversation, unlike
Yeah.
Lisa's conversation with
Right.
Ryan.
Well, and then Kat and Roxanne get into it a little bit.
Yeah.
Anything you said wasn't out of good intention.
Cool. That's not what I think. It was good intentions.
Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, because Roxanne's still trying to be like, hey, I was on your side. I was trying to make sure that, I just didn't think that Alex is the right fit for you because he's an asshole and blah, blah, blah. And Kat's like, well, you don't know me. You don't really know our relationship. So.
Yeah.
Why?
And
did
she's
they
like,
not-
I think you were up to no good when you were
Right.
talking to me. And
Yeah.
she's like, why do you say that?
Yeah. It's like, because look how you're talking about
Yeah.
everything else right now.
I also don't like
Like,
how
holy cow, man.
they didn't bring up the whole conversation of how he was. Alex was telling Roxanne or telling Antonio that he's disrespected by her and that she disrespects him, and that whole big scene of how that played out.
Yeah.
Because she was talking about how he betrayed her trust by everything she was telling him in that relationship, but yet she turns around and they're sitting and they're talking about how she was doing the same thing with Kat right there,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't bring that
Well, that's
correlation
true. Yeah,
up.
that's true.
Well, we do find one thing out. Her business is boobies.
Boobies, yeah.
She works with
Pasties.
tits.
Pasties.
I'm like, I got a Cricut. I can print some stickers off,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah,
Like, what
exactly.
the hell
Yeah.
kind of business is this?
Right.
Oh my gosh, she's not gonna like how you're downplaying her business.
Yeah,
She
that's
works 15 hours
Yeah.
a day.
You were telling me you work 15 hours a day on pasties?
She's got to design them, man. She's got to design these little pasties.
Yeah, I guess so.
She gets into trade shows.
Yeah.
She's got. I'm sure she's got
She
a
go- yeah,
website.
she
Yeah,
goes-
I
she
believe
goes
you
to
probably
strip-
do have to work
she
that pretty
travels
hard to
strip
make money.
clubs across the United
Mhm.
States trying to sell her pasties. I mean, damn.
I bet
The
the
hard work
holidays
woman,
are
yeah.
a good season for her.
Right.
So that was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love the way she says it too. It's like because this whole
Yes, I'm in
show.
tits.
I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
That's it. And then all of a sudden, she's, all right, fine, guys. I work with tits. Like it's like she was almost ashamed to admit that's what she was doing.
She threw it out there.
But
And it's like, so that's your big reveal? Like, you tits? I'm like, come on now. Like,
You're not impressed with that?
like, I work with tits too, but
I have my own business that's actually with boobies, so totally
Your
different.
business is with boobies.
Yes, I work with tits.
I just don't
You
get
wish
paid
you
for it.
did. You wish you did.
I just don't get paid for it when it happens.
You
You know?
wish you
I
did.
just don't get paid for it when it happens.
jeez.
Well,
Seriously, how much money can she make selling fucking pasties? Like, it's
who
like, come
knows?
on,
I
man.
mean, I guess
Maybe
you
that's
could,
why she works
you could
16
make some
hours a
money.
day.
Well,
Yeah.
she did in the little montage they had of her talking about how she's working and she's got a business where she wants to open another business and open another business. So she didn't mention it in this one, but maybe she has another business too. that
She
she's
makes
working
more
on.
than Antonio somehow. So
Yeah, I guess.
well, and Rox won't marry Antonio
that's
because
never gonna
Nick
happen.
says, "Hey, I can make this happen right
Yeah.
now. You want to do it?"
Otherwise, he's an
And she's
ordained
like,
minister.
"Nah, no thanks."
He's,
Ordained.
we're working on it. He is making
He,
strides.
he got his online ministry or ordination. Is it ordination? Is that how he said? Something like that.
I don't know.
Anyway,
It doesn't matter because she didn't do
He's
it.
He can marry him.
ordained.
He's ordained.
Yeah.
Yeah, only in California.
But she's not ready because, we, aka he, is still working on,
On his business.
on his business.
On
And
the car wash.
until we can prove that we're successful. we're
Now,
not even
maybe if he
gonna-
was working with tits, it'd been a different story. But he's not. He's working with cars, and cars was a 10-year ago thing for her. So.
But cars goes with tits, apparently.
Cars and tits go together. Yeah.
But Kate and Alex have a date, so they're progressing pretty good here.
Yeah, but when was theirs? He says like almost a year away, and then of course, then what? Ryan and Trace was saying like 2025 for theirs. We're gonna do a destination wedding 2025. The only one that was close was freaking
James.
James and Ryan, which they said September. So like next month.
Yeah.
Well, they've been
Tomorrow,
together the
baby.
longest.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow. Yeah.
They've been together the longest.
I think they said September
so.
20th. Matter of fact, was I think the date they used.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
And James proposed again, and
yeah, he did like a little snap proposal there out in the mountains. That looked pretty cool.
and apparently there was some behind the scenes stuff of James After Dark.
Yeah, a little sexy time, man. A little sexy James.
And we all learned something, I
We learned
think,
that
from
James,
his
James,
talk.
we learned that James works with tits too. So,
And if you didn't learn it, watch the show and Google it.
yeah,
Apparently.
yeah, and he likes his what is it his sounding rod? Is that what
Yeah.
it is? Yeah, he wanted. He said that's what he wants for his gift from the show.
Silver.
Silver. Yeah.
Nick
Silver-
Lachey's like
silver sounding
Googling
rod.
it. He's like, what is that?
Well, dude, and then it was Kat that knew what it was. And it was like, oh,
Yeah.
out of all the people.
Well, what's funny is that when they
Hey.
asked how she knew, I thought she'd be like, I'm a nurse. Like, obviously, I see all
Right.
sorts of things. But she's like, I Google things. I was like, oh, well, you had a legitimate excuse.
I was looking for a
there.
gift for Alex, you know.
Maybe she watches some stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, man.
You know,
Maybe
but
Kat's
those
a little
quiet
freaky.
ones, you never know.
Yeah,
No.
it's maybe a little freaky.
So, what did we think about these 2 episodes?
Boring, dude.
Well, I think you're glossing over like the two big parts here.
I am.
Yeah,
What's even
you
yeah.
are. So first of all, you talked about like, who's grown and everything, and do you think they've changed? And I do think James has come a long way. If he re-proposed,
Is that a big part?
he's trying to
That's
make
what I'm like. That's the part I fell asleep at.
That's because it's romantic and love and it's not drama.
That's the big part. Wow.
That's one of the big parts. He did change. He did put her as a priority,
Yeah.
it seems like.
Okay, so there's an exciting big part.
Yeah.
No, there's a letdown of the exciting big part because they totally let Alex off the hook for the way he behaved this entire show. And I think that happened because he was very respectful and polite on the show. But he has this way of talking to people where he very blunt and disregards how it makes the other person feel.
Yeah, I mean, he does, but at the same time, I think they tried to get there when they were talking to Roxanne about how she was, when they showed the scene where she was telling freaking Kat all about that shit, like, hey, he's a liar, you can't trust him, blah, blah, blah. So they were kind of trying to get to that, but
they could have come up with
nobody,
that if they
but
had shown.
It really just made Roxanne look like a bad guy with love.
Yeah, they really could have harped on that a little bit more if they had shown the whole disrespect scene when she's like, why would you tell him that? He's, that's my opinion.
Yeah, maybe.
And then going back to the whole apology where she apologizes for that disagreement they had that night.
Are we wrong about Alex? He had to put up with Roxanne for a couple weeks, so maybe we're wrong about him.
Speaking of which, you did that poll. Who was the big villain?
It was Lisa with 47%, followed by Roxanne at 35%. So it wasn't even really that close. Who would you choose? Or who did you choose?
I think I chose Lisa. But that was before I watched.
That's a tough one.
That was before I watched the after party though. So.
Would that change your mind?
Yeah, it is a tie between those two now, I think. I mean, I could have gone either way.
I chose Roxanne. Because
I
it's
could have gone
obvious.
either way on it.
I was torn a little bit on Alex, but I do
choose
think
Lisa.
I see a different side of Alex now, and I wish we had seen more of this side of Alex during the rest of the show. But I don't like the way he is too blunt with people with disregard to their feelings.
Yeah,
It's
you
one
don't
thing
like
to be-
Alex, but Alex is an okay guy.
Yeah, that's because that's how you are.
Yeah, Alex is an okay guy because he
was
had to put up
definitely-
with Roxanne, and like their
Oh,
biggest thing is like you're hiding, you're a liar, and when he's trying to be nice and not answer fully, like okay, and he is a little awkward from his personality. Okay,
Yeah, but he was very
Yeah.
respectful on the
He
on the
was.
after party.
He
I
really
mean,
was.
Yeah, he apologized to freaking Antonio. They kind of
And he's a
shook hands
changed
with
man. He wants babies now.
And
That's right.
I believe he's genuine in how he feels about Kat.
Oh, and that's the thing too. Like anytime Kat would say something about Alex, Roxanne would try to counter her. Oh, he told me 100 times. He
Yeah.
had like 12 babies, and Kat's like, yeah, there's difference between joking with somebody about having 12 kids
Yeah.
and actually
Right.
speaking to your significant other about having kids.
Yeah.
So shut the hell up over there. You know,
Trying to say that's not what he told me.
Right.
He tells me all that. He wanted to have multiple babies with
Yeah.
me, and it's like,
No, nobody wants to have babies with you.
Yeah.
You don't want to have babies with
I
anyone.
mean,
You're too busy working.
one person
Right.
does, but
right. And it ain't never gonna happen.
yeah, I feel for Antonio. I mean,
Yeah,
he
there's
seems
one-
like
there-
a good guy, but he's clueless at the
If
same
there is
time.
one loser in this whole show, it's Antonio. That dude
Yeah.
is a big loser.
Not
out of
because
this.
he's a loser.
No,
he
because
just lost out.
Well, he is a
We're
loser.
not calling him a loser.
I'm calling him a loser for freaking.
Dang.
a battered man,
He's a battered
honestly.
man.
He
No,
is,
yeah, you
yeah.
go, exactly. Yeah, he needs a freaking. You take his balls back out of that freaking little thing that she's got him in, put him back on, and then freaking get away from that, man. Because that's just a bad relationship.
But I mean, I guess she is trying to help and propel his career. Maybe he sees that or something. I don't know.
No.
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 Well, I mean, if he gets that thing up and running, man, once he's squared away on that, he needs to freaking get rid of her ass because she's bad news for him, man.
Maybe he'll get that self-confidence that he needs because she just tears down any
Oh,
confidence
she beats
he
him down.
has.
No
Yeah.
doubt about it.
There's no way he can feel good about himself.
Yeah, overall, this season not as exciting as the other two
No.
ultimatums, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting too because I really feel like this has helped some of these couples, which
Yeah, I
is kind
think
of
it did some
interesting. Normally, it tears them apart.
I mean, it definitely
yeah.
it
But-
definitely helped Ryan and James, right? I mean, you tell
And I
definitely
think it helped
them.
Trey and Ryan.
Yeah, and even Alex
And
and,
Alex
freaking
and
Kat,
Kat.
I think, you know.
Those three,
Yeah.
I think, have a chance at success.
Yeah.
The other two,
Yeah, I would agree.
well, Lisa and Brian seem happy together. I just don't.
Yeah, they did.
And
They-
maybe like we're talking about how Kat's the only person that could tolerate. What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
That Kat's the only person that could tolerate Alex. I think that Brian's the only person that could tolerate Lisa.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, ain't nobody else tolerating that shit. Sure.
So
For sure.
And Antonio's the one that can tolerate freaking damn Roxanne, evidently.
Yeah,
Because
so
anyway.
she's lucky she has him, honestly, and
No
it'd
doubt.
be nice if she realized it.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Yeah. Well, there you have it.
that's it.
That's the end of Ultimatum. Holy crap! And
Love is Blind, September
Dude,
22nd.
I'm ready for some Love is Blind. Hell yes.
Yeah.
Couple
He's
more weeks.
switching to the gold cups.
We do love doing this for you. We always have a great time here. And hit like and subscribe. And please tell us what you thought about this show. Tell us what you think about these couples and who the real villain is. Roxanne, Lisa, definitely one of those two. And hey, we will check you guys in our next review.
Later.
See ya.